All right, kids, it's Blackjack with 396 Guitars. We're back with the Ibanez Hollow Body. We're rewiring it. This is the second part of the video series. Let's get right to work. If you remember, last time we got all the pots pulled up. I'm taking the string off, and then what we're going to do quickly is just kind of connect these and tap test it before I actually seat the output jack. But before that, we're going to take the strings off. I got 3 of them off. Just use a little pick. These are the strings that we use to pull the pots up into the body. And yeah, it's a little bit of a struggle to get the knot undone because you want these secure when you're pulling them through. But you don't want to make a knot that you can't get undone. Just use a pick and it will usually agree. There we go. Get our twine out of the way. I gotta try to find some more of that red twine. I like that. Remember where I got it. So what we're gonna do is, just for purposes of, okay, this is good, we got it all right, before we move on and solder in the pickups, we're going to, this is my neck, we're just gonna hook them up with some electrical leads, plug an amp into it, and tap test the pickups and test everything, the switch. This is all loose, it's not tight yet, so pretty easy. These are my pickup leads sticking out. I'll make green the ground on the bridge, and the red will be the hot, and correspondingly to the bridge. And yeah, this is, you can skip this step, but if you get it all together and then realize something isn't working right, you're gonna have to take a lot of shit apart and start over. I would like to think, all things being equal, as I always say, if you take your time and do this right the first time, you should have a positive result. Now we just hook up an amp to it. You're going to hear some ground noise because our ground circuit isn't connected all the way. So let's try the bridge. Make sure our volumes are all the way up. I'm sorry, neck. Neck position is this way. Tone. Perfect. Bridge. Yeah. Tone. Very nice. Oh yeah. Middle position should be both. And if you roll a volume back on one, it should shut them both off. And it does. Just like as if it were a Les Paul. That's how I wired it up. It's because it's the same configuration. Yafa. So we're all good there, and we're ready to proceed. And there are many tools to do this. I kind of made my own. It's got a 1/4 inch jack on one end. And you kind of push it through where you're going to live. I'm going to test the depth on it first. I don't know what it needs here. I'd like to put a lock washer. I'm going to try that because I'd like it to have a lock washer, but if it doesn't have enough depth to get through the depth of the body, then you won't be able to use a lock washer. with my my pots. There was not enough, and these are long thread 500K pots, CTS pots, and I couldn't put both washers, so it's only got a washer on top. There is no lock washer underneath. I wish I could have. It would have made me sleep better at night, I guess. I don't know. Sure that one works. So what you do is, we'll get rid of all these wires first. Don't need them anymore. We know everything is working correctly, which is always a good thing. I have a feeling this guitar is going to scream. These pickups sound pretty hot. I did not test them, home resistance, but they came out of an SG. They're Gibson pickups. They're gonna be good. They sound hot. So push our 1/4 inch. Try to get it underneath all of the other wires as you look in there. Try not to get it caught on anything else. And if you have to, reach in and grab it. Like so. So that stays there. Put our lock washer, and hopefully it will, I can keep the lock washer on it. Put your 1/4 inch jack into the output jack and pull it through. And let's see what's going on here. You know, I think we're going to have enough to put a lock washer, a washer, and a nut. I think. First the washer, then the nut. Is it going to agree? I believe so. I can see plenty of thread. Yeah, once you get the thread started, pull your 1/4 inch jack out of your tool is out now. And then I use this tool, which goes in, grabs the output jack from the inside, and holds it so that we can tighten it up. And that looks like a, I can't tell what size it is. I should have checked it. It's 12 millimeter, not 13. Get that snugged up. And you want it kind of snug, but don't go overboard. Make sure you're not turning the whole output jack. Nice and snug. Pull out your tool. We're going to need that one again. I want to put our pickups in, and I'm going to pause briefly because I want to figure out how much of this wire. See, we're going to have a little excess here, and I'm going to tie those together nice in a nice little bundle, and they'll rest right underneath the pickup. the harness that I have coming off of my volume pots is cloth covered wire, and it has memory, so I should be able to tuck it, enough of it back there. But we won't know until we get them hooked up. So I'm going to pause while I get the solder station up and running, and then we're going to put these on. Stand by. Time to solder. So I put some heat shrink down here on these to cover after we splice these together. And that should cover the joint and, yeah, most of the ground. There we go. Uh-oh, I hear a timer going off. What the hell that's for, and why nobody's bothering to shut it off. Let's get these two back together. Let's get this on. Oh, and now somebody wants to knock on the door too. Isn't that just great? I'm not working or anything. It's always something, you know. Probably the cops are at the front door or something. Who knows? Who knows? We got a good joint there. Cover it. And that's one of them. Okay, I am going to pause because apparently somebody requires me elsewhere momentarily. I'll be right back. So, little by little, we're starting to look like a guitar again. We got the pickups mounted. They're soldered in, all of them. And at this juncture, after doing all that, I want to tap test it one more time just to make sure before I start tightening everything down. Call me crazy, but neck, tone, volume, yep, bridge. Yeah, golden, middle, off. Yeah, okay. So we know everything is in there and it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's important, you know, it's better to test it as you go along than just take it for granted that something didn't come undone while you're jockeying and positioning wires. I bundled the excess wire for the pickups. They're just kind of hanging there, suspended, right? What I'm right now, after we check the pickup height, I want to try to address some of these wires. If I can get them out of the way, that's great. If I can't, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I just want to kind of get it close. This one's got to go down slightly. I want to get it close before I do the setup. You know? And we can go down slightly. Not bad for guessing. Perfect. Not bad for guessing, or maybe I had already set those when I had them mounted before. I don't remember, but they're good. I know that we can go ahead and move forward. So yeah, it's time to tighten everything down. We have to position our switch is a little off. I want it to kind of orient that way, and it's actually going that way. I want to clock it slightly. And get it to turn more in that direction, which it now is. Let's see if I just tighten it. It agrees with me. Even better. Oh, we got to tighten it up and hold it there now. Yeah, that's perfect. It's kind of splitting between the two volumes, as if you were strumming. That's where you're going to use it, right? Because that's where it is on this one. I'm thinking black knob on it. That was the easy part. Now, tightening these down is going to be a trick because we can't get underneath. We can't hold it with any special tool. But if we get it all the way around, we can let the actual stem hold it until we get it snug. Yeah, I like that. This one isn't going to be a problem either, I don't think. But let's take a look. This is where I wanted to kind of try to push some of these out of the way. And they're just not going to agree because of where the three-way switch is. If the three-way switch was up here, I could almost get them to tape underneath. Like normally the three-way switch would be over here or over here. And the wires would kind of go around this way and hook around. But the toggle switch is right here, and some of the wires are going right to it. And you do see just a few wires there. And it's going to want to turn this way. Alright, well, if that's where you're going to live, that's where you're going to live. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I can assure you of that. I can assure you of that. I've seen much worse. Wires poking through. And visible, you got just a little bit right there. I don't know if the camera's picking up on it, but right there, just a bit. I never said I was perfect. Who said that? I don't want them to come any farther over. Can I get my finger in there to hold it? I don't think so. Screwdriver, all that. Yeah. Just to get the last turn on it. I want it to be snug. Got one last one to do. Oh no, we already got that one. Nice and snug. Nice and snug. This one we got left. There we go. I can live with that. I can live with that. They're almost not visible. It's almost. I've seen some come from the factory where there's one errant wire just hanging there. And I'm going to live with it because it takes a lot to get this stuff in the guitar. You guys can comment on that. I'm sure there's one troll in particular that's going to stick his head up out of the ground and have something to say, but that's all right. I got thick skin. I wonder if the knobs are going to fit on here. I think I tested them. I think I tested them. And they were agreeable. Or did I? Oh yeah, beautiful. Get them all clocked so your 10s are facing as close to the same direction as possible. Yeah, I like it. So I have cleanup to do and restring, and because it's a floating bridge, I'm going to do just one video on just doing, to finish up this series, one video to show how to do a floating bridge on these bing bang boom, right? And how you get it set and do your intonation. Even though it's got intonation here, you want to get it as close as possible, having that position where you want it here. And not only that, but string spacing and what have you, right? That's all part of it. And yeah, we ate up quite a bit of video just showing you how to finish up the wiring. It's a long process on these things, and it doesn't always go as planned. I've done so many of them that now I've got a process that I use, but every guitar is a little bit different. And sometimes it goes well, and sometimes it doesn't. This one actually agreed. It agreed, and maybe my process is getting better over the years. As I've done these in the past, and my God, it takes sometimes 3 times getting everything pulled through there where it doesn't get kind of hung up on something, or it doesn't work. You get it all together and it doesn't work. We didn't have that problem with this one, right? It's Blackjack with 396 Guitars. Thanks for all your views. Thanks for your comments. I try to read them all. I try to respond, as long as you're not a troll. And if you are, well, you know who you are. And yeah, you're not going to hear from me. We'll talk soon. Remember, if you dig what I'm doing, like and subscribe. And please share.